A few moments later.
Oh my gosh. All right, I need to go to the restroom because that was a bit much, but I'll be right back. Okay. Oh. Now my shirt is a little bit twisted. Hello, and welcome to another One Line of Code on One Line. Today is Community Day. Happy Friday. I will get Discord ready and almost open. Have to close a couple of windows. Oh, so if you couldn't read chat, it has a face. What? I was on a call with my project manager after our daily stand-up. While I was trying to get off of the call, I was also not. I definitely perpetuated the length of that call because it was part griping session, part rapport building, and it was actually kind of nice. Whew. Hold on. I ran upstairs and ran back down so that I could get some water. Thank you for the drink water, Bucasoft. Water has been drinked. One day I'll turn that into a channel points redeem. Okay. So anyway, we were able to have a discussion that just felt like an actual discussion where he heard what I said, I heard what he said. We had differing opinions on various things, but we respected each other's opinions on it. And it just felt like a good, genuine exchange that was beneficial for the both of us for the amount of stress we've been under. So I don't like that we spent so much time complaining and griping about things but I do like that we took some time to actually acknowledge each other's mental health status. That's pretty much what it was. So I'm not going to complain about the overall sense that I got from that conversation. It would have been nice to use that time on work, but it was still, what's the word I'm looking for? Not beneficial. And hello, Guvijay. It was still valuable. It was time well spent, which is weird to say because it was a social interaction with someone that I didn't have very much respect for because of past experiences with that person. Is this today? No, June 20th. I will not be attending that because I will be out next week. Okay, I landed in the US yesterday. Okay, I kind of remember you talking about that, where you had a choice to make. I can't fully remember what the choice was. You will be pursuing Microsoft. But that is awesome to hear. Tell us about how your first few days. Is this your first time in the US, for one? Oh, Masters. Masters of Science. Tell us how you have found your immediate environments. This is your first time. Okay. So, if like, of course, if you feel like hopping into voice channel to tell us, you can. Otherwise, just keep typing away. How do you find your, what is your impression of the environment? Like, is it shocking? Is it drastically different? Is it pretty similar? Do you find it easy? Is it hard to adjust? It's over 9,000 is what it is. No, I need you to be louder. I had to turn down because the call, obviously. Really, really interested to hear about that. Okay, so it is Community Day, even though I forgot to put that in the title because I was setting up the stream while I was on the call thinking it would be over by the time I started the stream. I wouldn't have started the stream if I thought it was going to go on for 45 more minutes. Beyond. So, do I have everything up? It's too cold for me even during summers. It depends on what part of the country you're in, and I'm not going to ask you to divulge where you landed or anything. But like right now in Colorado, it's pretty timid. I mean, I don't know about the weather. I just know that it has been storming a lot lately. Thank you, Goody John. And the temperature has been pretty mild because of it. Like today, for example, is 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 20 degrees Celsius. Like it is just about perfect temperature. Wisconsin. Yeah, definitely the northern part of the US would stay colder. But yes, hello, beautiful and amazing people. The voice channels are open. So if you do want to use your voice to communicate for today's Community Day, the stream room is there. Peter said that he is not here. He was never here. He is out today. But I will show some code on the screen while we continue our conversations. But I will not be focusing on my code today. There will be no stress that I get if you guys would prefer to talk about other projects, other situations going on. Like right now, Guvijay has come to the US for the first time to pursue his master's, and it's going to be, I hope it's a great time for you. I hope you enjoy your stay here in the US and are able to finish your master's. Like the thing that I'm like trying to find what are all of these socially acceptable things that you can say to someone that is not from the US who is coming to the US. But the only thing that I really know how to say is positive feelings and positive vibes for accomplishing the goal that you're coming here to do. I hope you're extremely successful. I know you're going to be successful and get your master's and learn a lot. Well, you are welcome. So I will go ahead and just do some mild coding on the app. Unless and until someone decides that they would like to join the Discord voice channel or writes a chat that starts a thread of conversation. But I hope you are all well. Quick reminder, starting Monday, or as you say in Europe, from Monday, I will not be streaming because I will be on holiday, even though I'm not really calling it a holiday. Okay, this goes over here. We have a bunch of stuff working in our app. Oh, and it'll be Monday through Friday of next week. Hopefully I remember to turn the vacation message or whatever it's called on. Zush says, I might have something we can look at together. Absolutely. I'm still new to .NET and backend stuff. Working on an API, an app/API at the moment, and having some troubles figuring out how to structure parts of it. Absolutely something we can look at. 100%, if you are comfortable doing so. No pressure. Very welcome to. Live content exclusivity. So I'm reading this real quick just to know if I can post the recording of this VOD immediately after the stream. Or not. So live content exclusivity solely for any live audiovisual work you choose to provide to us as user content, starting from beginning of the initial broadcast of any such content and continuing for a period of 24 hours following the end of the initial broadcast, such as Twitch content, live Twitch content. Such live Twitch content is exclusive to Twitch, even as you, during the exclusivity period of any live Twitch content. You will not, nor permit, or authorize any third party to broadcast, stream, distribute, exhibit, and otherwise make available such live TV content. Notwithstanding the foregoing, you have the right to make any live available during it solely which... Wait, what was this one? Notwithstanding the foregoing, you have the right to make any live Twitch content available during the exclusivity period solely via the Twitch services. So you can have VODs on Twitch. After the exclusivity period of any live Twitch content, the license to such live Twitch content, we're just going to call it LTC instead of TLC, which will become non-exclusive, and you have the right to broadcast, stream, distribute, exhibit, and otherwise make available such LTC in any manner and format you desire. The initial broadcast means the initial broadcasting, streaming, distribution, or other exhibition of live LTC via the internet, whether such live content is broadcast on real time. So the email that I got said that they made changes to the 24-hour exclusivity period. That reads exactly the same to me. So that's the thing that would prevent affiliates from streaming across using multiple platforms. So you can't stream on both YouTube and Twitch. but there's this statement: solely for any live audiovisual work you choose to provide to us as user content. And it's probably this wording that indicates that this is why you can post to YouTube or stream to multiple platforms. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Sorry. He's in the stream reading room. Okay, let me turn my virtual camera on so that you can see my screen live and you don't have to hear me on Twitch with the delay. Boosh. Okay, so you should just be able to use once it loads. Oh, it crashed. All right, am I back in the room with you?
Hi.
Yes,
so.
we are. All right, I'm going to try turning my camera back on, and hopefully this time it won't crash. Okay, so you can use Discord to see the screen and hear audio without delay.
Ah, nice. All right, yeah. I was just cutting the stream because I was double voiced.
Yeah, cool. All right, and I think you are equalized. If anyone in chat can let us know if he was too loud.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Test.
You sound good to me. Awesome.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks,
so
man.
let's talk. Hello, Zish. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I'm a French guy. I live in London, and I've been working as a software developer for the past year and a half or 2 years or something like that. And I've been doing mainly Unity stuff. So I worked for a small game studio. And what I was doing there is I was in charge of making playable ads for all of our games, which are basically ads, but as a game. So instead of seeing a little video,
yeah, so like
see a little
the thing
ad,
that
and then
you
you can
see at
play
the
the
end
game,
of-
and then kind of like that. Yeah. So I was doing that for a while, and then got laid off at the end of last year, just because the company wasn't doing great, and yeah, basically my team was one of the first to go because we were part of the scaling team, so they kept the essential people on board and got rid of the others. And then since then, sadly haven't been working because I've been spending some time trying to get back into the gaming industry, but that's been a little difficult because it's been a bit difficult for all the gaming companies out there, all the studios, so not much hiring, and yeah, so that's why I'm now looking into .NET and kind of the backend stuff and trying to leverage my C# experience and look into what I can do, like what else I can do with it.
Awesome. Well,
and
Blazor is a great
yeah.
place to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded nice. I did a little like portfolio using Blazor once, and I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I thought I'd try that out.
And it's kind of funny because I'm wanting to go to Unity so that I can do augmented reality.
Oh, I just lost you.
Oh no!
For a second. Now you're back. I lost you.
Okay, so it's kind of Unity, or I want to.
Oh, okay.
Like I haven't been able to devote all that much time, but so that I can do augmented reality apps.
Cool. Nice.
Which involves some amount of game design knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. So how long have you been doing that?
On and off over the past 4 years.
Oh, okay.
More off than on.
I think I saw you once with the headset on.
Yeah, with the HoloLens.
So maybe you were. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't done any VR stuff at all. I've never even played a VR game, so that's still like totally different.
You know, I don't think I've played a VR game either.
Oh, you crashed again for a little bit.
No.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why.
Is it having struggles with the internet? Is it my internet having struggles? How's the stream doing, guys? Am I laggy?
could just be me. I could just re-log into the like just quit Discord and come back in like 2 seconds. Maybe that will. Sometimes
Yeah,
it does
no
help.
rush.
Uh,
No
I'll be
rush,
back in a
Sush.
sec.
Did you hear that? I made a rhyme. I said no rush, Zush. I actually need to ask him, is it Zush or Zoosh? Especially being French. And it's kind of funny because the my PM is French as well, except he has a noticeable French accent. Doop.
Hey.
Okay, you're back.
Yes, I'm back. Hopefully,
We'll see if it's more stable.
now. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't help that my Discord like exploded when I tried to turn on my video.
Oh. Yeah, probably not.
But yeah, is your name pronounced or your username pronounced Zush or Zoosh?
I actually pronounce it Zoosh, but I mean
Zoosh.
it came from a work thing where it was a randomly generated name while my colleagues and I were playing Tetris, and it just randomly generated names for us.
Oh, okay.
And we just
And so
started
it's
saying
stuck.
Zoosh, and then I now realize that most people when they see it, they say Zush. So I'm like, oh well.
Well, most Americans, at least.
Yeah. True.
All right, so let's talk about your app. Is there somewhere we can go to look at it, or
No, it's all
you just wanna
local.
talk about it?
I
Okay.
can stream my screen to you if you want
You
to
sure
look
can.
at
Sure can.
code
Are you
stuff.
okay with me putting that on the stream?
Yeah, that's fine.
Pop out.
Just make sure I don't have anything.
Yeah, I'll have it over here until you are done starting it and ready to show it.
I can probably close this for now.
No secrets.
No, I don't know if in case there was some random picture on my screen or something that.
I mean, I have random pictures on my screen, and they would make most people blush, but
yeah,
like elderberries and
elderberries. What are elderberries?
have you not heard of an elderberry?
No. Oh, it's just
That's fine. It's a quote.
Okay.
Actually, it's a terrible quote because I think I said it wrong. Have you not seen an elderberry before? What is it?
No, I have. I just didn't know
Atlantis, I think. No. Probably Journeyman.
Your mother has a hamster. Sometimes Google gives you.
My mother what?
I don't know. See the first link? I don't know why it sends you to.
Oh yeah, that one is
hamster.
Monty Python. Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
why.
Your father smelt of elderberries. It's actually part of the French scene in it where they approach the French castle and they're gonna. That's funny. Anyway. Oh yeah, I guess while you're pulling up your stuff, you don't have a French accent. Is there a reason why?
Yeah. I'm half French, half German. So I grew up speaking 2 languages, and I think that's why it was a little easier for me to pick up not only a third language but also a third accent. So yeah, I guess that's why.
So when you speak French, you actually speak with a French accent.
Oh yeah. I mean, I grew up in France, and I've lived in France my entire life. So yeah, and German the same. It's a bit of a. But I didn't work much for it. I think it's just a gift from my parents.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm good with the. Oh, I'm not streaming. I thought I was streaming, but.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring it up. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I was this whole time, but.
Oh well, I don't know where it is. I probably got a. Nope. Anyway, it's from a game. But an elderberry is just a type of berry.
Okay.
Elderberry. I assume they're tasty.
And he looked tasty. Apparently it's sûr in French, in case you were wondering. Alright, oh, I'm not streaming. Wait, this is weird. I keep pressing streaming and then... See, now it says I'm live?
Oh, probably because you are streaming instead of sharing your screen. So
No, I am
in
sharing with
the
the share
stream
screen.
room channel. Oh, duh.
Are you not allowed to do it?
Hold on. I know what it is. It's been a while since we've had anyone try to share their screen, but it is permissions on the stream room. And I just need to edit channel permissions and tell Sush.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Add member.
confused. I feel like I pressed it so many times that I'm still not sharing my screen.
I'm sorry. It's been a long
Yeah,
time,
no.
okay? People don't show their screens as often anymore. Okay, so you are now in my list, and you can connect, and you can video. If not, we'll have to move to the other room.
Yeah. Oh, also
Wasn't
just
there one for screen?
as a quick disclaimer, I have to leave in 30 minutes because I have
Oh crap!
something to do tonight. It's EU time tonight. So just in case I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, I really need to go, it's because I will have to go. And I don't want to be too rude about it, but yeah.
Don't be rude. You're gonna have to stay the whole time. You know, if I started on time, that would give you an hour instead. Good grief, what is wrong with this guy? Okay, I save changes. Try streaming. If not, we'll just hop into the to a different room. Oh, it says live. It says live. And I got nothing.
Shows that I'm still live, so it didn't
there it is.
cut me off
I got
this
it.
time.
You are live. Because I gave you permissions. All right, pop out again, please. And I will make sure that there is nothing. You are good. I'm pulling your screen over. Okay, and hello, Apocalypse. Thank you so much for waking me up, as if I wasn't already awake. You didn't hear the sound alert, but Apocalypse played his normal theme music, which is a hairband scream.
Oh, all right. We're good with the... You have the screen now?
Yes, I do.
Oh, cool.
So you won't see it. Oh. Yeah, you won't see it because you'll see my camera. Well, yeah, you'll see it. I forgot. You're going to see my virtual camera.
Yeah, I see you now on the right. Yeah.
Cool. Which means that now I can use my second banner that I haven't used for a while, too. It's been so long. Other people. Haha. Okay, so Community Day. Guest. Zoosh. Talking about an API project he is working on. Pronouns? Do you have a preference? Can I call you he? They?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's good.
Good. Cool. All right. Can I full screen this? Yes, I can. There we go. All right, I'm ready for you.
Cool. Well, I could just explain what the whole thing is about first. What I'm trying to build is a sport betting odds comparison app, which means
Perfect
you know how
name.
you can. Yeah, it's a bit long, but I feel like sadly I can't remove any of the of the words from it. Otherwise, you miss
Like my
some
financial
information.
management tracker, which is as
Yeah.
short as I could get it. System for
So yeah,
tracking finances.
yeah. There's no
Yeah,
way
go ahead.
shorter. And yeah, so the goal is so I have a friend who actually came up with the idea to me because I don't bet that much on like sporting stuff, but he does, and he told me that his pain point is that they're like, so we're talking in France right now, but I'm sure it's kind of the same all over the world. There are around 10 big providers for sport betting platforms, and his issue is that let's say he wants to bet on PSG versus Arsenal, talking about football, game on Friday night, he has to, oh, European football, soccer for you
Yeah, and
Americans.
regardless, I wouldn't know any of it because sport.
Ah,
But go
okay.
ahead.
Okay. Well, some football match
Juventus.
involving two
That kind of
teams
name.
that are playing. And so the problem is that he is registered to the 10 different platforms, and the 10 different platforms for the same bet. So let's say you want to bet that Team A is going to win that night. The odd will be different for every single provider, which means the return on investment if you put 10 euros will be higher if you choose the right one, even though it's
Right.
the same bet. And the problem is it takes a lot of time to load up all the different websites and just go through all of them and take a look at which one offers the best thing. And it also changes very quickly.
Right.
Like every 5 minutes it gets updated, it changes based on different things happening, and yeah, that's why it's a bit weird. And that's the whole idea, is to have one app where you can just say, I want to look at this game, and I want you to tell me which is the provider that will give me the best money back, like the best odd.
For that bet, for that point in time.
Or exactly. Um, and yeah, so I thought the idea was cool, and was also a cool idea to start learning something new like .NET, because it would get into a lot of different stuff. And so the whole idea is to have like basically three different apps. One that will be doing a lot of web scraping, because that is probably how I will end up getting the information, the data. Because sadly, those bookmakers don't just give you the data, so you kind of have to go and get it yourself. The middle part being the API, in which I will then store it from the web scraper, and then the front end stuff will come later, and just call on the API to get the data and just show it. Yeah. And to the problem now that I have. So this is just the API code. I can load up Swagger maybe, just because we'll see a little better on what's going on.
Or if you were using Visual Studio, you could use the Endpoint Explorer. Oops,
Oh,
that wasn't supposed to happen. I just covered your screen. I'm kidding. I'm
oh.
sorry.
Yeah.
I just
I
covered
don't
your
know
screen.
if Ryder has any of that. Or I could just show you here in this one what kind of tables I do have.
Wow, swag. We're giving away free swag screenshots during the stream. And by swag, I mean swagger.
Swagger. Yeah, what's the best way to show? Or yeah, I'm trying to think
I
of
mean,
how
first of
I
all,
can
great job
show
at
you.
describing
Yeah.
what the app is and what the functionality is that you're wanting.
Ah, cool. Thank you.
Problem statement.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the best way to show you an overview of what the different
Well, I
relationships
mean, showing the
look
endpoints
like.
like this. Oh, the relationships. Okay. Or if
Yeah,
you were
just so you
using
get.
Visual Studio, you could use EF Core Power Tools and create an EF diagram.
That's a good. I will note it down. I'll write it
Oh my
down and.
gosh. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm being facetious.
I used to have something set up here, but I think I lost it. Because I think it was stored in this session or the cookies or something, and it's gone now. Yep,
But yeah,
that's gone.
QuickDB.
All right.
You could create a new system table. So if you right click on system tables for that database,
So
or the database,
you
not
mean
the
here?
server. Yep. Or database diagrams, right? Expand that. New database
Oh, expand.
diagram. Same thing. Either right click new database diagram or expand and yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little new to all of that stuff.
No worries. No worries. So right click on that new database diagram and then choose your tables that you want to show us. If it's all of them, then choose all of them. Double click, double click, double click. Yeah. However you feel like doing it.
Probably not.
And then it'll
Cool, yeah.
automatically arrange it for you with lines showing the relationships. And then you can move stuff around if you want. So just close that window. And
Okay. That is good.
I see a broken relationship.
All right, tell me about it. I don't know what I'm doing, so.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, you mean here between the bookmakers and the
Yeah.
bed
So you
type?
have a couple of lookup tables, it looks like, or one lookup table and one. This bookmakers would be the URL. Yeah, I guess that's a lookup table. So the bookmakers, I'm assuming, are the providers that you were talking about, right?
That's why. Sorry, come again?
The bookmakers are the providers you were talking about?
Yes, exactly. So the bookmakers, that will be the websites
Yeah.
that will be the different providers basically.
Awesome.
And then there's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, the
I
broken
guess
relationship that
main-
I see is between bets and bet types, where it looks like bets
Yeah.
has a bet type ID, but it doesn't actually reference the bet type table as a foreign.
Yes, that is because I thought I didn't need it. I just need to reference the ID, but I don't need to access the bet type from
Unless
the
you're going to
bet.
display the bet type name. So, like, if you're displaying all the bets the person has in some kind of table, then you probably want to get back the bet type name at the same time instead of give me all the bets and then go look up all of the bet types.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could do that. That's true.
But that's not what your question is.
Yeah.
I was just making
That is not where my that's true. But that was not. But we're close to this subject with the bets and the bet types. The players are actually not that important. Leagues matches are important.
Have you ever played the
Just give me
Untangle
one
game
sec. There's
on mobile?
someone
Oh yeah.
ringing at my
Do it.
door. I'll just get thanks.
Go do the thing. He's playing the Unravel game. Hopefully you don't have headphones on and you can't hear me, because that would be annoying if you're trying to answer people while I'm still talking.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back. Sounds like you didn't have your headphones on then.
That I didn't have. Oh no,
Yeah, because I kept talking and I was like, I hope it's not interrupting whoever you're meeting.
No. It's just someone was ringing at the door, and I thought my girlfriend would get it, but she
didn't.
not hearing it, and then now.
So like, I don't ever expect my wife to answer the door. I would never wish that on anyone. Mm-mm.
To what?
Like, I don't even answer the door.
Oh yeah, I don't even know who it is at that time of the day. It's a bit weird that someone's ringing.
Yeah, if I'm not expecting anyone to visit, I am not answering the door.
Yeah, well, that's a good rule of thumb.
The end.
But sometimes it's someone
otherwise
delivering
it's a 30-minute door-to-door salesman where they're just going to be pushy and make me feel like a jerk for not buying their product.
Yeah, I guess we don't get those that much in the UK. Maybe it's more of an American thing where they show up at your door and they try to sell you something, but that's never.
Yeah, like here it's exterminators, lawn care people, and siding/roofing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and purified water systems.
Okay, interesting set of things. Okay, I'm having.
I was asking you before you ran off.
Yeah.
Have you played the Untangle game where you have like nodes and strings connecting them, and your goal is to try to get all of the things from overlapping?
You mean the mobile game
Yeah,
that does that? Yeah.
yep,
I've
yeah.
I've played that, and
Because
there
it
are a
looked
lot
like
of
you were
the
just playing
same.
that just now.
Yes. I think the issue I have is because, as you just said, here the bet type ID is referenced here, and it's the same for the match ID and the bookmaker ID,
Mhm.
and it doesn't give me a connection because they're not like in the same way, not
Right.
referenced in the bookmaker and in the match, and I thought they would be all linked. I mean, the matches are connected, but not the
We gotta follow.
bookmakers and not the bet types. But
Thank you, Cesars of Nika. Off. Caesar Soft Nika. I don't know how to read your name. I'm sorry. But yeah, that one is really easy because you don't have to do any extra configuration, just so you know. You should only need to add a couple of virtual objects to those two and then create a migration. Can you tell us how to pronounce your name? Caesar's Soft or Caesars of Tinica? Help me out. Dukasov pronounced it just fine.
you can do something like this, right? Here
Public virtual. And then the related object, so match or book match.
Yeah.
And then because you're using the same name for the property that you are for the
Good type.
navigation property that you are for the int, then that's how it knows to create the reference between the two tables automatically. And then
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
add one to the match table as well. And you already do. You have it. So you have the many side of the relationship, but not the one side of the relationship.
Yes. Because I just thought this was used only for like navigational purposes. So in like let's say I need to access the match from within my bet,
Right.
but because I
And
didn't
you're
see a
right.
use case for that, I just didn't add it because
Yeah.
I don't see a point right now where I need to have a bet and access the match that is tied to it.
Right. And in
It
this
will only
case,
be the
like I can imagine you having a UI where you're displaying all of the matches. And as you're displaying them in a table, maybe you're also displaying the type that the match is. And so you're going to flatten that most likely in a DTO that says when I create a new match or a new bet, then I also want to, or not create, when I am listing all of my bets, then
yeah.
I want to also show their match type for each bet in the table. So your DTO would have the match name instead of the match ID, or both match ID and match name.
Um. Well, I think it would go the other way around. It's only if I would only display the match and then get the bets from the match, but I wouldn't want the bet and then show me the match that is associated to it.
Really? So for a given user, you don't think that they would want to see what bets do I have
Well,
out
they're
there?
not placing any bets or like they're just using the website as a comparison, like to get
Okay.
it's like a comparison app. So you just load up a certain match, let's say Team A versus Team B on that day, and then um, you get the different bets that are associated to it. What I could show you, so I'm usually using a VPN to connect to a French IP address. But this is the typical thing that people will see when they place a bet, right? Is that I'll come here and then they will have
Mhm.
the different leagues here. So Ligue des Champions, and then they have the list of all the games, the matches that are coming up. There's only one match, and then based on that, they will have all the different
list of-
odds that exist, and all of
Odds.
those double chance buteur. It's in French right now.
Mhm.
Probably put it in English, but I mean, it doesn't really matter what the name it is.
It's in Fringlish.
It's in English, and then so yeah, so you would filter through the game and then look up a game, and then from that on you would get all the different odds and
Yeah, so
bets
click on
related.
a game.
So we are on the game now. Now we're on the
Oh,
page.
we are on the game. Sorry.
Manchester
So the
City
odds
Premier.
are what a bet is then.
So the
Correct?
odd
Or
is just
what does
numeric
bet
value.
represent?
So that's where it gets. That's where we lead up a little closer to my problem. Is that all of these different darker areas here. So qui va gagner le match means who's going to win the game. So it's basically betting on the outcome of the game. And that to me is a bet type. Or I could even go as far as to say betting on the fact that team A is going to win the game, so the away team is going to win the game, is one bet type. Betting on a draw between the two different teams is another bet type. Betting on the home team winning is another bet type.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that makes sense.
That makes sense. The problem I have is that some bet types have some data connected to it that is not the same across all the different matches. So for example, you can bet on who is going to be the first player, or who is going to be one of the players who scores a goal in the game. And for that, it is dependent on the list of players that are on each team during that game. So this here is a list of 42 different players, because there are 21 players on each team, and there is an odd connected to if Erling Haaland scores a game in this a goal in this game, it's a 1.73 odd, and so on and so on.
Okay.
Let's say I have another game tomorrow. It'll be a different set of players.
Different roster. Mm-hmm.
Different roster, different players. Yeah, so that means I cannot. Here I was able to say, all right, one bet type is, for example, it's different
Manchester
team.
City.
Manchester City and Inter Milan are different teams, but I always know which one is playing at home and which one is playing away.
Oh, okay.
So I can just
home
say
team odd and an away team odd.
exactly, and then I just replace it with the name of whatever team is playing that specific game. But all of that I can, abstract. It's not tied to the actual name of the game. But in the case of the players, it is tied to the names of the different players. I can't even say striker 1, striker 2, striker 3.
Right, because someone else could be in that position.
Yeah, they could have more strikers or less, or and it becomes even more complicated. There is another type of bet that's quite interesting to me because it's a bit complicated, and basically no provider of comparison app compares those because it's a bit more tricky to do, I guess. Is that you can bet on a pair of two different players and say it's either going to be Erling Haaland or Julian Alvarez who's going to score a goal in this game. And then you have a potential list of 920 something, like couple of
right
names.
So whatever combination of players on the same team.
Exactly.
Or not even on the same team, right? Because this could be a player from either team.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so the problem I have is, how do I determine, how do I structure my, how do I represent this? Yeah, and that's basically
so the concept of bet makes sense to me now. So I think the part that is going to be most difficult is setting up your bet type so that your actual bet maybe renaming bet, because bet really is an odd, right?
Well,
Or it's
look-
more than
I
just
can-
the odds. Hurry up and
well,
render
the thing is,
screen.
bet. Sorry, what?
Come on, screen. I'm waiting for the screen to catch
Oh.
up to you. It needs to render. Can you select the
Okay.
text up there so that it tries? Nothing. Okay, so odd is a property in, and I can't say the class name yet.
Oh, sorry. So that is the bet class, so the bet model.
Okay.
And to me, the bet is just the one that holds the information about the setting of the bet. That means a bet is tied to a specific match, to a specific bookmaker, and to a specific bet type.
Yeah, so this is why I'm thinking that bet type would be the place that we go to set this up. Oh, that's what happened to your video drivers.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
It
we
just-
got your screen now.
Sorry.
So yes, bet type would be the place to do this. Can I see bet type currently?
Yes. So yeah. Okay. We'll come back to this just to show you what I
Yes,
had planned.
definitely.
Bet type doesn't have anything other than what I call model base.
And yeah, so this is your lookup type base that has every entity
Yeah,
has an ID in
exactly.
it.
Yes.
So
I can tell you
for
my
a
initial
given-
approach if you
oh
want.
yeah.
So that the initial idea I had was just to have a string in which I would store whatever data I need to differentiate for the different types that need a differentiation. So in the case of the strikers that I told you earlier, it would be the name of the striker or the two names of the two strikers in a string. But then the problem I have is that I need to verify that that data is properly formatted when I receive
because
it.
now you're relying on a string that's going to be stored in a database or pulled from somewhere that
Yeah.
you're going to construct yourself.
And that's a bit weird. And then if I add a new bet type, that means I also have to add a new verifier or handler or whatever that will verify that specific string differently.
Right.
Yeah, and that just seems a bit, I don't know, messy, and I don't know if it's the right way to go. But that was like one thought, but yeah.
Well, database wise, just to tell you up front, because you're probably running out of time, but storing multiple values in one field is typically not a good approach.
So you mean two different things in one string, or like having a string with different things in it? Oh, okay.
Like identifying data has the potential to be more than just one value. It could be, like you said, some formatted way of representing two players.
Yes, exactly. Right. Okay.
So
all right.
There would be a better approach for that. And essentially, it would be a relationship to another table that has all of the current values for the identifying data, if you're even storing that in the database, if it's not just pulled at runtime only. But it would essentially turn this into a list of that model. So a list of identifying data which has an ID and a name, and is related to that bet type ID. Or bet type. Or bet only. Gosh.
Yeah.
So essentially this would be one table that has a identifying data where one identifying data is player, maybe their position instead of player, and then their name for this particular bet with this bet type.
Yes. I mean that's still.
But it allows you to use multiple values for this bet to have multiple identifying data potentially.
So you're saying create a new.
And that's the thing that would get the odd. That's weird. That'd be weird.
All right, can you re-explain that just from the because I think I got a
Yeah.
little lost.
Well, I mean, it's still like I was trying to adapt what you currently have to that approach, but
Oh,
essentially it would be creating another table, another object that is the identifying data object, and that has your model base. And
yeah.
since like is it the combination of the two players in the instance where you're doing a bet on either this player or this player, that's what gets the odd?
Yes, the odd will be linked
Okay, so then it stays
to
with
a
bet.
set of two players, but it could also in the one I explained just before be just the one player, but that would
Right.
be for a different bet type.
Yeah, I really don't like this approach. And the reason that I don't like this approach is because you're using this identifying data also for like when you have your bet type of home team or away
Yes,
team.
it exists and potentially it's useless.
Yeah, and then you are replacing or this identifying data is the thing that you're using to show the team name, right? Or not?
No,
You said that you know
no, no,
the
no. So
team
the
based
matches
off
have,
of
yeah, so the
match.
matches store the two different teams. And then if we go to the team has a model base with a name, and then the name of the team will be part of.
So what other things can be in identifying data currently?
That's the two main use cases I have for now. Is the different players that I have. But here again, for example, you can. Well, I guess this one could just be different bet types. It just means scoring more or less than X amount of goals. But I guess this could just be scoring more than 0.5, scoring more than
Well, yeah, your
1.5.
identifying data would be in this case the number 0.5 to 1.5, right? That's what you're using it for.
It could be, but at the same time, I could also argue to just create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different bet types.
Yeah, and the reason that
That
you
are
wouldn't want
just
to do that is because what happens if you need to add a new one or they add a new one. And so every single time you're creating a new one,
yeah.
as opposed to
It's
having
not
one bet
flexible.
type that
It's not
is
amazing. Yeah, that is,
yeah, one that says total points bet type
and then
and
another one
then
specifying. Yeah,
yeah, each every time that they add a new like let's say they go up to 8.5 suddenly, that's just one more total points bet type with identifying data of 8.5.
yeah. It'd be more flexible to just be able to, yeah, change the. But yeah, I mean, I that's why I kind of came to use because I feel like it's a bit off. The solution doesn't
Right.
scale or
Yeah,
doesn't
there
make too much
there are
sense. And for
definitely
me,
changes that I would make to how you have it structured. I don't know that I would have landed on the identifying data.
yeah,
Like right
I
now, bet types should only be the stuff in gray, right?
oh sorry, I'll go back.
No, no need to
Bet
apologize.
type,
Like,
yes, should
yeah,
only be this category of bet, let's say, and then
including for
you could
players
have,
too.
yeah, so you would have one that says striker and then one that says double striker, for example,
Mhm.
which to me are different types because then the data associated to those will be different. One will only have one
Right.
player, the other one has two players. I also thought for this player thing, I could store the different players in the database and just for whatever reason, but then I also didn't think it would bring that much to have a table
Right. It
with
wouldn't
all
bring
the
much
players
value.
because I don't need, I never need to sort anything by player. I just need to, um, yeah, expose all the bets and then different names involved with the. And once I
Okay.
have the one string with the name, I can compare it on all the different bookmakers and uh, create the relation through that.
Yeah, that's definitely making it more clear because now, as we're looking at this page as an example, the stuff in gray is your bet type, and then the stuff inside of that category are your bets. Okay.
Yes, exactly. They're the bets, and then just
And
one.
in every case that I am seeing here, there is some kind of label plus odd. Right? Even when it has a question as the label.
So you mean here the label being the name, and here being the
Mm-hmm.
1N or the name of the city?
Mm-hmm. This one looks
Yes.
like it's two-dimensional though, just for each bet. So this one has whatever plus means in the actual second column, or plus and
Yeah,
moins.
it means plus. This means more or less than 5 goals.
So it's bounds. It's between 1 to 10.5. Or what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know why exactly they wrote it that way. I think it's because they didn't want to write equal or more than. But this one means there will be more or less than 0.5 goals scored throughout the game. Meaning either there will be none or there will be more than one. But I guess if you put one, then people don't know if it's one included or
Yeah,
not. So if they say 0.5, you can understand that under 0.5 it's nothing, and
it's
more
none
includes
because you can't
one.
score half a goal.
Exactly. So yeah, of course you never score half a goal, but they say 0.5 because I guess otherwise it can be confusing as to understanding one or more, or one or less, or is one part of the more or less. I don't know. So
Score
I
half
guess that's why
goals.
they write it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, so okay, just to explain that one more time so I can understand, this is going to be for this very first one, there will be 0 goals or not one goal.
Yes. So
Up
less than
to
0.5 goals means 0 goals, and then plus would mean 1 goal or more.
1 goal or more.
I mean, technically more than 0.5, but more than 0.5 starts at 1 because you can only score goals. So in football, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't go 0.5.
So then on the next line, you're essentially saying 2 or more?
So minus less than 1.5 would be either 0 or 1 goals are scored. So if no goals are scored, you're in this part. If 1 goal is scored, you're in this part. So less than 1.5.
More is
And if
less.
there more is less, yes. And I'm really sorry. I'm looking at the time.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah. I
I
would
feel really
love to
bad
help you
because
out
I
with this
jumped in
more though
here.
next time.
Yeah, no worries. I'm really sorry because now I took the time. I mean, I explained it to you and probably put some information in your head that you're not going to be able to
Oh no, I wrote down
do
notes because I
about.
knew that
But
we weren't going to get through it all.
okay, cool. All right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd definitely be interested in hearing you talk about this some more. And if you do come up with more before the next time that you feel like talking about it, cool. We can talk about it together still.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But it was definitely helpful at least to explain it to someone out loud and kind of
Yeah, now you have to
realize.
come back, says Tugasoft.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll come back maybe next week. Hopefully with another problem, and
Not
I'll have
next
this
week.
one
I will be
fixed.
gone
Oh,
next
not
week.
next week. All right. Well, whenever it's back on.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always Discord as well, so feel free to post any questions you have there. For those of us that have, you don't have to re-explain everything since there have been plenty of us on the stream that were able to hear you
Yeah.
talk through what the app does, what you're stuck on, which is how to represent essentially this screen, but from multiple different sources, from multiple
Yeah, exactly.
platforms,
It can be very different
in a
based on
standardized
the
way
type.
so that you can consolidate it and say, what is the best bet right now that I can make for this game?
Yes, or complicated types that involve changing elements in them.
In more than 1.5 weeks.
So you're on holiday next week, or?
We'll call it holiday, yeah. Family is making us take a family trip together.
Oh, okay.
Which,
Well,
the way that I say it makes it sound so negative. Everyone else would, not everyone else, so many other people would probably love this situation where it's like, hey, you get to go on a vacation with family somewhere together, and it's like extended family. It's my wife's it's my parents-in-law, and their immediate children and their grandchildren,
okay, cool.
and it's going to be a big thing. But like my wife and I aren't very social,
Yeah,
and
it's a bit
these are
overwhelming, I guess.
obligations for us that aren't necessarily enjoyable.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck with the holidays then. I hope you make it through.
Thank you.
And yeah, maybe I'll jump back at some point, and I'll sometimes
Awesome.
pop by the streams anyway. So yeah. All right.
No
Thanks for the help.
obligation, no pressure. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Bye, man.
Ciao. I'll figure out how to move this screen off so that you can hide your screen. Awesome. That was Zoosh. Let me close this window. Awesome. Can you not send a remote presence bot in your place? That would be nice. Like we were talking about, why isn't the technology used in Surrogate? Why isn't that a thing yet? Yeah, no need to apologize, Zoosh. It was great hearing you talk about the situation that you're running into. Also, for anyone else that is listening, if you do have any suggestions for Zoosh, I'll try to do it myself because I do have suggestions for what he just showed. Feel free to put it in Discord, and I'll find a way to communicate it to him. I think... Well, he has to be in our channel, because otherwise how did he join? And Guvijay, are you actually ready to hop into the room? Can I pull you into the stream room? See you in the waiting room. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Guvijay just into the US for completing his master's.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How does he sound, stream?
How are you
Is he
doing?
quiet? Is he good sound?
Sorry, what?
I was
Yes,
just
it came
asking
into
the rest
your...
of the stream if you sound good.
Yes, you sound good. Am I audible to you? Am I clear with... I was just finishing set up my mic and headphone actually.
Cool. Absolutely do
So,
hear you just fine.
yeah. So, how are you doing today?
I am tired. I don't know if you
Yes.
heard my rant, not really rant at the beginning, my description of my conversation with my project manager before his stream started, where I ranted with him. We commiserated.
So, what were you asking about? What were you asking earlier? I didn't actually hear it clearly. I was setting up my device.
What was I asking about?
Yes, like
Just
you were asking about
Oh yeah,
something I...
your experiences here. So like when you landed at the airport and saw the US for the first time from an airport standpoint, were you like overwhelmed? Was it normal? Do things feel
Yeah,
extremely
yeah.
different to you?
I was overwhelmed actually. I felt quite good after clearing the immigration department actually. The first, what we call it, hurdle.
Yeah,
After
the
that, and then I
checkpoints and
moved,
stuff.
yes, I moved to the nearby town from my university, and I booked the hotel, and I'm currently at the hotel actually.
You're at a
And
hotel.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
then I would looking for an apartment, or I will see the in university housing, whichever suit me the best. I'm gonna move there.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was about to ask that too. You already stole my next question. So did you find a place to live? So yeah, you're looking
I
at
would be
hotel
looking for
or looking at
yeah,
apartments.
yes, I'm in contact with the student department of this university
Mhm.
and see what happened next.
Oh, I need to change the ticker message. Because now we're talking with Guvijay. Haha. I moved it over here so I could see. Talking with Guvijay about just, I don't know, what are we talking about? We're talking about you just coming, just landing in America to pursue his master's. So what is your master's in?
MS in computer science actually, and that one specialty in information system.
Ah,
They had few more options like business analytics and software engineering, but I found to choose information system because it was sounded quite familiar. Like I'm interested in outsourcing application, working on about that. Not
oh,
interested in data science and other things currently. So prior
why
to
can't
that, I have.
I? Oh,
You can't hear me actually.
no, I can't move this, but I found it.
Okay.
Go ahead. So prior to
Yes.
that,
Prior to that, I worked for around 9 to 10 months in my home country as a software engineer actually,
right?
and I just passed out from my bachelor's in 22 June last year.
Congratulations.
Yes. So after that, I kept applying for masters in here, and there was a huge what we call queue or backlog that
Yeah,
it took
waiting
me
list.
more than 10 months to get an appointment for embassy and then to get a visa.
Oh yeah. Like we even getting our passports, it took 3 months just to get our passports for this trip that we're taking. Maybe more.
Mm.
February,
Yes,
March,
I've heard
April,
because of COVID and
like three
pandemic, there's a
months.
huge backlog of application in everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love water. So, what other questions can we ask you about? Because like I'm really interested in just knowing your experiences. Like you stepped off the plane, you made it through the various checkpoints, the immigration, everything, and then you made it out of the airport. Like,
First of all, it was a long flight, so my first what we call mission was to get a place to crash, just to get a
right,
sleep, to get off my jet lag
right.
and
Yeah,
had
are
a
you
good
still
sleep.
feeling jet lag?
No, no, no. Actually, it was a night flight from India, so by the time I landed in America, it was 6 in the early morning.
Mm.
So I was a bit
I
tired,
don't know what
and
that would be India time.
after currently it's actually maybe 2 in the night or 3 in the night.
Um,
4:30,
4:30.
4:30 a.m. Yes.
So mid afternoon for you. So did you get much sleep on the flight?
Yes, flight was quite empty, so I get enough space for
Awesome.
3 seats. So then I get to my room and sleep.
And then did you do the sleep for 24 hours thing to readjust?
No, just 6 to 7 hour usual sleep, and I
Oh.
just cure my headache, and now I'm feeling fresh.
Man, headaches are the worst. Ah.
It was around 12, 20 hours flight, 20 hours flight, multiple airlines. I got from
Gosh.
Amritsar to Delhi, from Delhi to New York, and from New York to Chicago.
So how long was the flight from Delhi to New York then?
Delhi to New York was about 16 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh man. But you said the flight was pretty empty. You had plenty of space.
yeah, yes,
Yeah, we're gonna be on a 3-hour flight, and that's already too much for me.
yes.
So yeah, continue. I want to hear more of the story. So you got rid of your headache. You were looking. Your first mission was to find a place to stay and crash,
Yes,
and
yes.
then you did. And you crashed. But I still want to know, like, how did you arrange for getting there? Did you have to do taxi? Did you do a subway?
Like what we can figure out. Some of my node person come to pick me up from here. It was like family friend of a family friend actually.
Oh,
They
okay. So you
came
already
to
knew
pick me
people
up and
here.
yeah, I contacted the person and they just dropped me here at the hotel. I am in contact with the student department of the university and looking for the apartment because my orientation is on 28th of June. So by the time I would be just hanging around here and there, nothing
So I
to
take it
work
you're going
on.
to be pretty busy and not really making it to many of the streams starting then.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I can't imagine trying to go back to university for a master's. I have no desire for that. What made you actually want to?
Just because everyone in the family was asking me or like forcing me to pursue masters because my other
Forcing
siblings are
you.
also masters. Yeah, my other siblings are also masters. Both of my brother and sister have done MBA, so they were forcing me to get more education, do better stuff, achieve better things.
Don't you just love those societal pressures that say, well, we all did it, that means you have to?
Yeah, I was earning quite well
So, does that
actually,
mean that you
but
wouldn't have chosen to do it yourself?
I was like I was not interested in what we call going to college again, doing assignment because I was working for 9 2 months and I would just settle there and it was my became my habit of working and it will be harder time to switch back to as a student.
Right. It's
I
been
was earning quite well
10
actually.
years for me.
Yeah, by the time I was waiting for my flight, I also got couple of more offers in my home country to work there. I I rejected those to come here.
Jeez, it still must have been hard to choose that, though. Good
Yeah.
grief. Ugh, more school. Anyway, we definitely will want to hear about your time with the master's degree. Well, I would because I don't really know what it entails. Like it sounded to me like you're going to be doing a lot of research and writing spending your time trying to find some profound educational paper that you're going to write, and it's going to be a breakthrough. And if it's not, then you didn't succeed at your master's.
I don't know like what would be in the master actually. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
that.
So definitely let us know as you start finding out what's going on. Hi, Goku.
Yes. So what's
I
actually
don't
doing masters
like. I
in the
wouldn't
US
purpose.
actually? Have you
Sorry,
done
say
you
that
have
again.
also done the masters no? You have also done the masters in computer science. I'm
I
asking
didn't
you.
understand you.
Have you done master's
Oh no,
degree?
no, and I wouldn't. I got a bachelor's degree, and I wouldn't purposefully look up what it takes to get a master's, mostly because I don't think that formal education is a way that would help me increase my skills because that would be the point of it is actually gaining skills, and I'm just interested to know what it's like but not have to do the research to find out what it's like. So if you feel like telling us as you learn more, I'll be happy to read that cuz it'll be more meaningful if it's someone that I have interacted with that is going through the process.
So it will be first time for me too. I would
Yeah.
be experiencing it for the first time.
But like do you think that you do learn pretty well if you are in a formal education environment?
Like I don't know because I would be switching to another country, or what we call different education system, different type of things. I don't know how it's gonna be.
Okay.
But I'm wishing it
Well,
would be
then
pretty
just in
well.
general, like when you were doing your bachelor's, did it actually feel like you were learning because of
Batch,
university, or do you think you would have done better on your
like
own?
I don't know actually, but it was only like give the exam and pass the exam and get a degree. Just mug the things up, write it on paper, and get it done.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't learn that way, especially when there are other courses involved that are like you need to take these general education
Because
courses that everyone needs to take.
because out of the college education, I have to learn many more things to get a job. I didn't get a
Yeah.
job because of college education, like learning new languages and learning a new framework, which was not included in my curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That get me landed a job.
That makes sense.
That's yeah.
Well, I hope it still does end up being valuable to you because it's a big step, it's a big choice, and you're also being pressured into it. So I hope you do get something out of it
Yeah.
other than just your master's degree.
I wish that too.
Yeah.
Let's see what's
Cool.
happen in next couple of years.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about your
Like
experience or just in general?
like nothing else. Just
Nothing.
I just landed yesterday, so nothing much to share about what I
It
did
was yesterday.
last. Yeah. So okay,
Well,
I'm gonna leave. I'm going to grab some lunch.
yeah, thank you so much for telling
Okay.
us about that though. It's really cool to hear.
Okay.
Best
Okay.
luck.
Thank you. Good luck. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thanks.
Do 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 do. Meet George Jetson. That was Guvijay, who, as the little ticker says, just came to America to pursue his master's. Landed yesterday. I thought it was like a couple days ago, with the way that he was talking about how he was able to get 6 hours of sleep. But it was just yesterday, and he's awake and moving about. That's crazy. I would need to be passed out for 24 plus hours before even wanting to interact with anyone else after a flight that long, especially. Good times though. I am trying to make decisions because I know that I started late, but we did have some really cool guests, and I wish I had started on time so that we could have spent more time on Zush's situation, but hopefully I'll be able to make some time. It's going to be hard because, again, we're getting ready to go on the 24-hour stream confirmed. Lies. Lies. We're getting ready to go on the trip. We're leaving on Sunday, coming back on Saturday, and I have a lot to do between now and Saturday evening, which I can't really tell you guys much about, but I will someday. Just not today. But of course, I told you about the work product. It is at least cybersecurity ready. So we have a build that will be going out to cybersecurity for them to check, make sure everything is good, and then you have my permission to end early. Aw. It's ending on time ish because I did actually start the video on time. It's terrible. But yeah, we have that, and then the release is going to be the Tuesday of the week after I get back. So I'll have a full week and then a day to get everything into the app for release. Excuse me. And since one of our team members left, We did make our selection for the person that will be replacing them, but that also means helping them get their dev environment set up, which is going to be fun with this project, as well as doing the parts of the release that the person that left normally does. So for example, our strings, our localization strings, he would be the one that sent out the strings for request to get translated, and then merge them into our current translations. So I'll need to figure out that part of it and have that done before the release, because obviously we can't send out a release without translated strings in it. That would just be bad, you know? So anyway, I can't hear the music anymore. Maybe it's just quiet. Oh, duh. I couldn't hear the music at all because I didn't have it on monitor. Anyway, it is sad to go though, because this is the last day before a long break. And I'm enjoying hanging out with you guys. But I what up? Are you a Mr. Robot? No. No, I'm not cool enough. I'm just a lame full stack developer. That's all. Not full stack developers aren't lame. All of the dev. So for example, our normal stream project that we work on non-community days is a web application that does Blazor WebAssembly, Blazor server, as well as a desktop application using WPF and a Blazor WebView control, and a cross-platform mobile desktop Tizen application, both Mac and Windows application that also uses a WebView control. But today was community day, so we spent some time talking with members of our community, having a little chit chat in Discord and just hanging out, having a good time. But I didn't understand anything he said. I'm learning from it. You may enjoy Blazor WebAssembly or just Blazor in general. Are you already familiar with HTML and CSS? Yeah, I'll take my time out to talk about this because I'm excited about Blazor. Are you already familiar with HTML and CSS? Because if you are, then you can start building robust UI systems. You know React and TypeScript. I mean, the basics of it. So Blazor is fairly similar from what I hear. I'm not 100% familiar with React. It's similar to the way that you would structure React code. In React, you have components where you have HTML and some JavaScript code where you can control the UI directly in line in the same file. And Blazor is very similar to that, where you have, I need to find a good page to show. Data entry page, where you have HTML and then you use C# to control your UI. Finished my work session just now, ready to start the stream. And so this would essentially be another JavaScript file, another component that I am telling to render right here. So my HTML renders, and then my C# says if the entry type value is deposits, then render the deposit entry component, which is again just HTML and C#, and some other components that are also just HTML and C#. And it's really, really, really fun to put user interfaces together. Quick question, Fady Boy. First of all, hi. I hope you're doing well. Do you actually like doing the design part of UI, or do you just prefer the implementation part? Someone else gives you a design and you make it happen by writing code. Or do you like both? Or do you even like UI? I'm asking like 80 questions. We'll see if you can answer one of them. But as live coding Peter kind of indicated, we are pretty close to the end of the stream. Is this Blazor thing for people who don't want to write in JavaScript? Typically, yeah. I guess I like to implement more. I suck at design. I do too. And I'm with you. So if I was going to do UI for a living, I could live off of taking other people's design and writing it in Blazor. But yes, Blazor is a way for you to use, for a person that already has a lot of knowledge with C# and using if statements, for loops, just all of the C# stuff, and writing UI using HTML, CSS, and C# without needing to write any JavaScript. So if I only want my button to appear when some condition is true, like if I click another button and I want this other thing to disappear or appear, then I can just put it behind an if statement and say when I click that button, set the C# variable true or false as to whether or not to show or hide this thing. Or just use CSS to show hide. But it is just exquisite fun to see someone who has a really good design and then be able to just go hacky, 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 hacky. All right, here is that design in code. And not only that, but you can take individual bits and pieces and put them in other applications if you feel like it. Equality says, I've been using Blazor Server for the past 6 months, and I've been pleased with it. So far, no JavaScript, no interop either. And it's all working well. Interesting. Yeah, I still had to use some Blazor JavaScript interrupt. Live coding said to Fady Boy, Team Bootstrap. I know Bootstrap is sometimes frowned upon, but the idea holds. Team Tailwind maybe. Any CSS framework that makes it easier to sketch out and to use reusable existing classes in multiple places. I've been rolling my own, but more and more I'm like, okay, I can start relying on these other CSS libraries. Now that I understand what goes into making them, I think I understand more how to use them better to do someone else's design. It was just, I always felt like I had to fight with the CSS library to get the design that was being implemented. It felt hard to overwrite the CSS library's styles, or adapt them, or customize, or whatever. You had to do hoops, and loops, and dupes. Team fight the library. Okay, so anyway, you did happen to come when I was getting ready to end the stream, Fady Boy. I did start late, and I could keep going for a little bit longer, but I have a lot to do. A lot. I'm trying to see when the last time was that I rated this person so that I can start setting up a rage. Just one more note before I head to the end of the stream is that I will not be streaming all of next week. My normal schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 hours ago until, I guess, 2 hours and 10 minutes ago, up until 10 minutes ago usually. You can find all of our past streams on YouTube for this project specifically. Scrolly. Dang it. Who did I raid? That's Settlix. But yeah, so I will still be streaming at my normal schedule when I get back. I'm not planning on taking any extra time outside of all of next week. But if I'm like exhausted on no stream next week, we're all doomed. It's an announcement. If I am just exhausted from the vacation, then I'm just gonna not stream and not apologize for it either, because it has the potential to be a lot more than I'm used to dealing with. But anyway, so that's that. I will set up the raid. So let's go to this screen right here. The one where I say thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out on Community Day. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Zush earlier, where we talked about his sports betting app. He's trying to get into using his current skills in a broader area than just game development. And so who will I live vicariously through next week? You can still live vicariously through me. You just have to do a lot of imagination stuff. And I believe in you. I know you have a good imagination. So just imagine the hell that I'm going through. Imagine the fun that I'm having while I am on this trip that I am going to be on. And yeah, put yourself in a mental state where you are completely diminished. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I am setting up the raid for Bardak. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Cancel. He decided that he's not going to be streaming anymore. He already rated out. So anyway, how long have you been streaming? Oh, Solo Solipsist just started, and he doesn't really ever get very many viewers. I'm not exactly sure why. He's working with augmented reality and virtual reality, and those are technologies I absolutely love. But his streams are more along the lines of he is learning the technologies and experimenting with stuff. So maybe that's not what people like. They want to see an actual project get done. But if you feel like it, head on over to Solo Solipsist with me. I will be lurking on his channel while I continue the rest of my day, my work day. And yeah, we'll watch him do some AR development, which would be fun because I really want to get into that so bad. So bad. Again, I'll post this video to YouTube. Dukasoft already put in the YouTube thingy. You can find the project on GitHub. And feel free to join our Discord. That's it for me for today. And I hope you enjoy your next week without the obligation of coming to my stream. May you enjoy everything that you do all the time. Dukasoft, you are important. Okay, ciao for now. I'll keep waving. The obligation is my pleasure. I'm muting my mic now.